Good evening.
Good evening. That's it is. We'll soon have those teddies longer than the actual songs. I'm guessing the way how it's going.
You have no idea how much time it took me to clean up all that flour off the kitchen floor. I don't know why I do it, but I do.
See, that's the one for next week. I'm going to put a video of cleaning. I mean, that'll be amazing.
It'll be a short video.
It would be a really short video. Excuse me, I just realised I've got my... Yeah, no, I have.
I had the sound on mine as well. It's gone now.
Do apologise. Hope you're doing all right.
Ted Jackson is not Wilson Winter, and it never will be. Okay.
Should be, Ted. I think you're right.
Never will be.
I think you're right. That's another one I lost. Just thinking of that. Has anybody seen Staged with your mate?
David Tennant, Be Still My Beating Heart.
Indeed.
And Michael Sheen. Or David McDonald, as we now know his name is.
Yeah. Because it's brilliant. If you've not seen it, watch it. But that just reminded me of a bit of a running joke on there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen it, it's iPlayer. It's just 6 15-minute episodes, and there's at least one scream out loud laugh in each of them, and quite a few in most of them.
Very funny. We may have spoke about it before. I can never remember what we've done and what we haven't. We do know we've not done any of these songs before because we have been keeping a running total of the whole. A running list of all the songs, and again we've got a completely different set again tonight.
Different in so many ways.
It is. We're starting off with a song called Nothing Stays the Same. I suppose that's quite appropriate thinking about it. And it's another one of those that I can't remember what album it was on.
It was on Slashes and Dust.
Ashes and Dust, to everybody else. And it's another one of them. We've just never performed it live, so... Another first. We'll give it a go. Bell went off in my head one morning, couldn't see it coming, there wasn't any warning. I just knew my life had changed. I couldn't work it out, there wasn't any reason. Something shifted, a change in the season. Love songs and aching hearts remain. You can dream all you like, but nothing stays the same. Like that mouse on a wheel, I'm pushing forward. There's not a thing gets in my way. It's all about making deals. It's not about the way you feel. Love songs and aching hearts remain. You can dream all you want, but nothing stays the same. I try blowing on a whistle, beating on a drum. You do what you do just to get things done. Put your shoulder to the wheel, roll up those sleeves. I thought I figured it out, thought I got it sussed, but all I'm getting are weeds and rust. And a fool's just a fool, and like a fool I believe. Like that mouse on a wheel, I'm pushing forward. There's nothing gets in my way. It's all about making deals. It's not about the way you feel. Love songs and aching hearts remain. You can dream all you like, but nothing stays the same. Unholy mess, I can't get a measure, can't see any progress. Don't tell me I've been marking time. I see a whole lot of riches, but none of them's mine.
It was going so well.
It went so well, fairly well. I think we should keep that in. We should do that again. That's been one good thing about this, with us trying to do this thing of not repeating songs. We've dragged out so many songs that we've just, or song, not necessarily old songs, so that's not that old, but songs that we've recorded and never actually managed to get into the live set for whatever reason.
I like this next one as well. But before that, Andy's home early this evening.
It's getting dark.
It's getting
I
dark.
do like the dark.
For those of you who don't know, our Andy is a goalkeeping coach, amongst other things. Sleaford GK, Sleaford Goalkeeping, just get the plugs in.
Indeed.
And normally on a Thursday night he's working over in Edwinstowe with the AC1 Goalkeeping Academy, which is why he tends to get in late. But yes, it is getting dark now. So, hi son. Who else have we got? Oh, Chris Leach. Chris Leach, this one's for you. And also, I saw Kathy, my cousin Kathy was on.
All right.
So
yeah, I think we have done this one once.
We did it live
we did it at the
Playhouse.
Yeah.
And my cousin Deanie was in the audience, sobbing her heart out.
It was that bad.
Yeah. So, when I was a kid,
good memory. Crack on, babe.
Okay. We used to spend all of every summer and various other bits of the year in Stornoway, which is where most of my family still is. And let's just say Sundays weren't a whole barrel of laughs when I was little. They used to...
They're not particularly great now, let's be honest.
But they used to chain the swings together in the swing park, chain them to the frame so that you couldn't go on the swings. In my granny's house, you weren't allowed to read except the Bible, you weren't allowed to sing except psalms, and you weren't allowed to play any kind of games. And the only sort of entertainment as such that we got was going out for a walk, as long as nobody saw you laughing and reported back. And we used to go for a walk to the castle grounds. And if you look at postcards of Stornoway, one of the most common always used to be, it was titled Stornoway from Gallows Hill. So I walk up through the castle grounds to the top of the hill, which is where I guess people used to be hanged. But yeah, so this is just about that really. It's called Gallows Hill.
Yeah.
Go on, I thought you were going to say something.
No, just we'll give it our best.
Picked out a postcard from a dusty drawer. It showed the view from Gallows Hill. It made me smile, it stung my heart more. It caused my weary eyes to fill. Now looking back for almost 50 years, when we climbed high that dusty path, to hide from Sunday's gloom, its wrath, its fears, we never knew just what we had. Gallows Hill, oh Gallows Hill, how cruel of you so fine, to some such beauty brought despair, to me such happy times, to me such happy times. And then a scarf I chose from that same drawer, I wrapped it loose around my neck. The faintest sense that I had known before, oh how the senses draw you back. It made my mind from a dusty door. It showed the view from Gallows Hill. And for Chris and Kathy, if you're still watching, when it says a scarf I chose from that same drawer, it was a bianach. That my mum wore all the time. And it was, again, one of the few Gaelic words my dad knew, bianach. When you take that bloody bianach off.
It always got to me when Kip told me the story about that, and I got a line in the song about it. It just seemed really cruel that one of the most beautiful views you would ever see from the island was very often the last view that a lot of people saw, because that's, you know, as the title suggests, Gallows Hill. They went up there, but they didn't see a lot coming down.
No. Quite quickly.
I think they did, yeah. Oh, what happened there?
Yeah. Oops.
Anyway, yeah, that makes it a folk song, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Oh, talking of which.
Yeah, just thinking about, thanks. We are actually getting more suggestions for different beers now than I am songs. You obviously think I've got a serious drink problem, but thanks very much for them. Suggestions this week include Adnam's Broadside.
Oh, that's a good pint.
Which is a good one. I couldn't find any in Aldi's though. I've got to be honest. I'm back on the McEwen's Champion, which is it's very nice but a bit lethal.
I know
7.3.
I know Graham's watching. So Graham, this is Tomatin, which is a distillery about 10 miles south of Inverness. And here you go.
Look at this.
In my Wikipedia, it says, I actually got that after we had played at the old station inn in Aviemore.
All right.
And at the end of our set, we went to the bar. And
like the bridge?
Bridge, I'm sorry, it's the bridge, yeah.
It's a good gig.
The barmaid said, oh, what would you like to drink? And I said, oh, a whiskey, please. And as we were on freebies, I didn't like to, you know, push my luck. And she said, what do you want? And I said, oh, you know, anything cooking, it's fine. And she said, oh, this is our local distillery. And my eyes lit up. And that was Tomatin. So I bought, that's a Tomatin Legacy. So Tomatin means the hillock of the juniper. There you go. Tomatin, yeah. And first distillery here was built in 1897 by a group of local businessmen trading as a Tomatin Spey District Distillery Company. And there's lots of other information in there. It was the first distillery in Scotland to actually be owned by a Japanese company.
It's a laugh a minute, this, isn't it?
And it's a Speyside whiskey, but it described itself as a Highland whiskey, but it's very nice.
Oh.
So there.
Happy?
No, I can't remember what we're playing. Oh yes, I do.
We're a little bit nuts today actually, because we're going out tomorrow. We've got a proper our one and only festival this year. We're playing Beardy Festival over near Kidderminster.
Yeah, just the far side of Kidderminster.
And I know you're all thinking, how the heck's that happening? Well, the guy, Beardy Dave, who runs the festival, has jumped through every hoop possible. It should have happened in June. Obviously, there were complete lockdown. It wasn't going to happen then. And he's gone through everything and risk assessed everything. There's bubbles for people of
circles
six,
drawn on the grass for there's bubbles,
for gatherings of six. That's no more than 6 people. He's running it just on 20% capacity. It's sold out, but it's only running on 20% capacity. Good on you, mate, for doing this. And
absolutely.
So we're actually going to be standing up in front of a festival audience, albeit very, very strange.
Yeah, no idea how many, but you know, it's a festival and it's outdoors, and we'll be staying a few nights in Tallulah.
He's got a cracking lineup, so we should have been with Greg and Lindsay on Saturday in Wales, but that can't happen now because of the change of restrictions. So we're going to spend a couple of days at Beardy and check in the festival. Yeah, this song. I wish I could turn back time. We'll do this song, and then we'll have a chat. Once a miner, always a miner, the old man used to say. I scraped the dirt from my fingernails and I threw me boots away. I've had countless jobs since they closed us down. I'm still on minimum wage, hanging on to my pride, but there's nowhere to hide. It gets harder every day. I've worked doors and bars and I've sold used cars, swept the streets just to earn a crust. I swung a pick and a shovel, it's an uphill struggle. These dreams don't amount to much. Once I had direction, once I had a plan, but a politician, she snatched it from my hands. Another kick in the teeth for the working man. Hey brother, can you spare me a mind? I wish I could turn back time. For a decent wage I'd get back in that cage, into the dirt and the grind, back down the mine. Oh, if only I could turn back time. Sold cheap booze and fags every Sunday from the back of me van. But we took a tumble the day we got rumbled by the customs and excise man. All our stock he took, he impounded our truck. Our prospects again looking bleak, when the magistrate, he said, boys, don't be late, and I'll see you in court next week. I wish I could turn back time. For a decent wage I'd get back in that cage, into the dirt and the grind, back down the mine. Oh, if only I could turn back time. Well, what's past is past, and time travels fast. I'm not bitter, what's done is done. They bricked up the door back in '84, turned the lights out one by one. Redundancy tokens, communities broken, blood brothers who no longer speak. From brass bands and banners to multi-star planners, take a long hard look and then weep. I wish I could turn back time. For a decent wage I'd get back in that cage, into the dirt and the grind, back down the mine. Oh, if only I could turn back time. I wish I could turn back time. For a decent wage I'd get back in that cage, into the dirt and the grind, back down the mine. Oh, if only I could turn back time. If only I could turn back time. Turn back time. Yeah, that song, Turn Back Time, many years ago, I wrote a few songs, obviously based around the closures of the pits. And it was just a couple of weeks ago at Edwinstowe, found this out. Every line in that song is true. There's a mate, Steve Oxley, I don't know if Steve's on tonight, he told me a lot of stories about the closures of the pits. He used to be a miner. And so all of those lines are true. They're all based in fact. But then when it got to the last line, where it says, from brass bands and banners to multi-store planners, take a long hard look and then weep. That was poetic license. And then I found out a while later that Tesco's had built a superstore on top of one of the old pits. And I'd got it into my head it was Cotgrave.
It was Ollerton.
And yeah, well, we were over at Edwinstowe at Sheila's place doing a gig a couple of weeks ago, and I mentioned that, and obviously a lot of folks around that area know, and it's as Kit just said, it's Ollerton Pit, which has now got a superstore on top of it.
Every little helps, as
Indeed.
they say. Graham, thank you for asking. The shoulder is, as I said before, way better than it was before the operation, but there are still issues. However, I have actually had a conversation with the consultant now. First contact I've had with him since the operation on the 17th of March, and he's as naffed off about that as I am. It's not his fault. But I did get an appointment through to actually have a physical consultation. The appointment was for tomorrow, the only day this year that I can't do. So I've got it rescheduled for 2 weeks' time. And he's going to examine it, decide whether it needs an MRI scan, and whether the worst outcome would be, well, that's as good as it's going to get. The second worst outcome is tendon transplant. Ligament tendon, yeah.
You can rebuild her.
Yeah, and the third is, well, no, it'll get better, just keep doing what you're doing, so we'll see.
Talking of rebuilding, I don't know if Mary's on there tonight. I hope you're doing okay, Mary. Is she going in for another bit of some restoration work, let's say? Talking of restoration work, I got a phone call today.
Oh, yeah.
Back end of last year, I found out I got a hernia. And of course, everything just went. I was told I was going to have it sorted out, and then everything went with lockdown and what have you. And I got a phone call today from the hospital, giving me a date to go in and get to have my surgery, and it's October the 27th. And I burst out laughing when the lady said, and she obviously went quiet and wondered why I was laughing. And then she was looking at the notes, obviously, and she said, "Oh, you can't come that day. It's your birthday." I said, "No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We'll come. We'll get it sorted out." There is no better time right now. It's not like we're going very far.
No. Yeah, that's that really, isn't it?
Yeah, this song.
Gosh. I think we've only ever done this one live once.
We have done it, but it's...
Was it Chris Glenn?
Chris Glenn used to like this song, and we did a party. Chris had got a party on down at the Playhouse Theatre. I don't know how many years ago, and I'm not mentioning what birthday it was because I can't remember anyway. But I know Chris asked us if we'd do it, and we tried and completely murdered it. And I was raging about Jimmy Webb. We did Wichita Linesman last week, and I was raging about the amount of chords he'd put in that song. And this has got more chords in this song than any other song I've ever written. And looking at them, I have no idea what I was on that day, but it seems to work. It's actually got 9 different chords in it. That's more than I would normally put on 2 albums. Whoever said?
I'm sure I should be grateful. This anger isn't justified. The bitterness is hurtful.
Do you want me to drop that?
You're on the... I thought you were on the wrong...
Cap. Just looking... I thought she was doing all right, and then I realised I've got to sing the harmony.
Should we start again?
I'm off, babe. That's been a while. I've even got the capo written down on there.
I'm sure I should be grateful.
Sure.
This anger isn't justified. Bitterness is hurtful. It eats you up inside. Every song I hear is a memory calling me again. I've packed my things 100 times, but I can't get out the door. To walk away would mean I failed, so I promise just once more to turn around and to try again, to give this love just one more chance. Up strikes the band and the music plays, and we must stand. Whoever said true love is always worth the cost hasn't seen what I've been through.
But
Whoever said it's better to have loved than lost hasn't been in love with you. Oh, they've never been in love with you. Why does it always feel so special whenever you're around? Paint up my face and wear a silly hat, I'll always be your clown. To live's to breathe, but to love's to fly. So the story goes. Can love be worth this heavy price? I don't know. Whoever said true love is always worth the cost hasn't seen what I've been through. Whoever said it's better to have loved than lost hasn't been in love with you. Oh, they've never been in love with you. Set me up just to drag me down, such a drain upon my soul. Can't bring myself to walk away as if you didn't know. Whoever said true love is always worth the cost hasn't seen what I've been through. Whoever said it's better to have love than lost hasn't been in love with you. Oh, they've never been in love with you. Whoever said, whoever said, whoever said.
could have kept that going for 20 minutes there.
Yep. Could have been a and fade
Yeah.
written on that.
I think
one,
it probably
couldn't
was on the album.
Was it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, let's have a look. What have we got on here then today? I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me.
Bless you. And again.
Excuse me.
If you're listening on headphones, we do apologise
Yes.
for the ringing in your ears right now. It'll be a bit rough.
Andy, 27th. I thought it was the 28th. Oh, Sheila Reid, same birthday as you.
Oh, it's a great day.
She's
Sheila,
obviously a
wasn't
lot
it?
younger than you, though.
Clearly. Most people are. Ron Wood's on there. Hello, Ron.
Oh, hello, Ron.
Yeah.
That's Ron from Bishop Stortford, Bury St Edmunds, somewhere down that way, isn't it?
I thought it was a
It's-
guitarist in the Rolling Stones.
Thetford, or
Oh, right.
it's down there somewhere. I don't know exactly where. Oh, there's a few. Norman McCaskill's on. I think you missed it, Norman, but we sang a song about Gallows Hill earlier on, which you might want to go back and look at later. Kenny was trying to share a picture of Gallows Hill to the comments, but couldn't do it. That's pretty much my standard of Facebooking as well, Ken. What else have you got to say, dear?
Nothing, darling. Just I'm used to listening. I am quite happy to listen. So all's good. What are we doing? Oh, yeah. Just talk to the people. Just a sec.
Okay, I'm going to say happy birthday to 3 people.
3 people.
To 3 different people. First of all, happy birthday, Trina Pike. We know you're out there, and I see you've had a lovely day sitting in the sun and eating cake, and I'm jealous. So yeah, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Tom Beaumont as well. And then also happy birthday to Mark Soddo.
That's Mark, is it?
Yeah, so it's
right, that's 3 people's
it's
birthday.
like it's that time of year when all the good people have birthdays now. She
It's
says,
coming up.
I've got a big one coming up.
Yeah.
If anybody's got any suggestions for any good whiskies that I haven't tried yet, I'm going to treat myself. So I'll take your whiskey suggestions.
Indeed.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I was just thinking about what news we've got and what we've done this week. Last Friday, we went to a funeral. Dubby Shortland, a really good mate of mine. We sort of grew up, we were little kids together. I was best man at his wedding. We were pretty much inseparable through our teens. And it's a very strange thing going to a funeral these days, at this day and age. But there's just like 24 people allowed in the creme, and everyone was distanced and this sort of thing.
You know, they got the chairs all separate. You couldn't even sit close to your partner, which was
yeah. But
very
as
strange.
these things go, it went as well as it could, you know, and it was good to see 1 or 2 friends as well. But, and of course, we turned up with our masks, because obviously you've got to wear a mask. And Dubby, bless his heart, and rest in peace, mate, he got the last laugh. Everyone, as they went in, were issued with a Tottenham Hotspur face mask. And I wouldn't have worn it for anybody else, I can guarantee you that.
Some of you may have seen this on Facebook. I'm not good at funerals. I am really not good at funerals. I used to occasionally have to go as a representative of the company to funerals, and I even cry at the funeral of people I don't like.
She cries at the Archers.
I don't even listen to the Archers now.
You used to, though.
Rubbish, yeah, I don't like it now. But anyway, I did like Dubby a lot, and I'm wearing this sort of nylon thing, stretchy mask, and it's really difficult crying inside a mask. And as we walked out of the creme, I just sort of whispered to Dave, "I've snotted all over the inside of this mask," and his reply was, "Best thing you could have done to it."
Well, you know.
So
This, I just realised where I went and fetched that from. We've got a downstairs loo that's full of all sorts of photos and mementos and all this sort
not
of
the
thing.
toilet itself, the
Yeah,
room.
the room itself. But there's one wall, and every funeral that we go to, you know, the little cards that you get, but of course at the moment you can't do the little funeral cards. All of those, they're all stuck on one wall. And Dubby's, the face mask from Dub's funeral is now stuck on the wall, and that is known as the Wall of Death in our house. And I'm just thinking one day I may well be stuck on there myself. But hey, this next song, it's called Four Seasons More.
Talking of hospital visits.
And yeah, it was.
Excuse me.
I remember writing most of the lyric to this in Lincoln. Kit was in hospital in Lincoln. I'd taken her in. You were having your face fixed, as I said. You was having.
Was it my face I was having done that time, or my foot? It
I
was
don't
anyway.
know. She was having more surgery anyway. She didn't used to look anything like this.
It's not true. It's not true.
But she was having surgery, and I'd taken her in, and then I'd gone off for a walk around the city, and was then going back to
It
obviously
was
meet
my
her.
face, yeah.
And I was walking up around the cathedral area, beautiful, beautiful area of the city, and I was walking around this path, this big walled path, and got to the end of it and saw the sign, and it's called East Bight. And for whatever reason, I've no idea, it just sort of took me. And I remember just sitting down there killing a bit of time, and I started writing this lyric, finished it off when I got home.
I would just like to say, having my face fixed, I was actually having surgery on my nose and cheekbones inside.
That's what
It
Michael
wasn't.
Jackson said that, didn't he? I took a walk along East By. I was alone but not lonely. I had you there for company. My thoughts were with you only. It's been a year since I saw you last. I've counted each day passing. 4 seasons more till we meet again. 4 seasons more I'm asking. This city's been so kind to me. The work's well paid and plenty. And life is good when you're not here. And so my heart is empty. The distance now will soon be past. Don't dwell upon the sorrow. We've both known such happy times. There will be more to follow. Four seasons more and I'll be home. 4 seasons more I'm asking. 4 seasons more till we meet again. I'm counting each day passing. I took a walk along East By. I was alone but not lonely. I had you there for company. My thoughts were with you only.
I like that song. I think it's lovely. Faz Farrington suggesting a title for a song, Tears Behind the Mask. That would be a good
Tears
one.
Beyond the Mask. Yeah, it beats Snot, doesn't it? I mean, it's got to be honest.
You know.
Yeah, no, that is really good, actually, yeah.
You can ask him for royalties when it comes up, Steve.
Yeah. Don't buy an house on it, mate.
Yeah. Steve Doe, with all your comments tonight, I might be solo next week. No, I'll just let him suffer. It's fine. He can carry on.
That was we were. It was the second time when we were going on tour in Australia, and we got down to Andy had taken us down to Heathrow, and dropped us off, and we got to the check-in, and the guy started checking the visas, and there was an error on Kip's.
Two.
Mine went through fine, absolutely fine. And then they started checking Kip's, and they said, were you born in Germany?
No, first thing he said was, it's not going through. Oh, there's a digit wrong. Are you German? And I said, no. I was born in Germany by accident, but no, I'm not German. And he went, oh. And the lovely lady who had done our visa applications or pushed our work permits through for us had got one digit wrong on my passport number, and because I was born in Germany, they'd assumed that I was German, even though nationality it quite clearly says British.
But anyway, this as it sort of worked out there, he was trying to get this sorted out, and I'm thinking, and we're starting to sweat, and I'm thinking, I'm going to have a solo tour of Australia. And I thought, this could be the last thing I ever do.
Certainly the last thing you ever do as a married man. But the lovely, was it John or Josh?
It was Josh.
Josh was the lad at the check-in desk. And you could clearly see the abject
smashing
panic on our faces.
Normally you get a job's worth that don't want to help you. This guy was brilliant.
He just said, it's okay, don't worry. And from the Qantas check-in desk at Heathrow, he phoned Australian immigration in Australia, because this was like stupid o'clock in the morning, And
They're obviously used to it.
yeah, and within 10 minutes, all sorted. There you go.
What a start! Yeah.
And when we got down to the actual boarding of the flight, you know how the staff from the check-in desk often move down then onto boarding, and Josh was there again. And as we were going through boarding, I was, I love you, Josh. He was mortified, bless him. But oh God.
This is back to the songs. This is an old one, and this was on our very first album, a song called Alice. But if you've got the album, it's different because I think I mentioned this before. We wasn't expecting this to go on this long, so it's me that usually sorts out all the set lists, and I was getting Kip to sing nearly everything when we started out, thinking it would soon be finished. And here we are, 25 weeks on. And so now Kip's singing songs that I would normally sing to even it out a bit. But, hey.
The photos on the mantelpiece look out beyond their frames. Dust that settled on the glass has covered up their names. Images in black and white, they're all that remains of the family and friends Alice knew. She sits inside a living room with a carpet worn to threads. The sofa that she sits upon at night becomes her bed. Dreaming in her innocence, someday a prince will come. So patiently she sits for hours on end. She said she remembers, she swears she always will. Mistletoe at Christmas, in spring the daffodils. Sunshine in summer, in the autumn the breeze blows away her wishes like leaves from the tree. Alice said she doesn't mind, though she gets a little down from time to time. Alice said it's just her age. When you're getting on, you're not so strong. But Alice isn't lonely. She said she's all the friends she needs. She got a radio for company, and that's fine. But you watch her when you leave and see that smile upon her lips, and a tear sits in the corner of her eye. She said she remembers, she swears she always will. Mistletoe at Christmas, in spring the daffodils. Sunshine in summer, in the autumn the breeze blows away her wishes like leaves from the
What do you mean by that?
We didn't do the little rundown thing at the end.
I forgot all about it. Hang on. Go. I forgot all about that.
You see, I always remember before we were an item, but we had sort of we knew each other. We'd started playing in sessions and stuff. Dave did a live appearance on BBC Radio Lincolnshire.
I did.
And you sang that song, and I was listening, And you didn't do the rundown at the end because your hands were shaking too much.
It was, I was terrified. It is going back some.
Oh,
yeah.
it is, yeah. Well, it's going back over 26 years anyway.
Yeah, I must have had that song 30 years. But, Tom Lane, Tom Lane right now will be on Radio Lincolnshire doing a folk song. That's weird.
Doing a folk programme.
A folk programme.
Yeah.
That's weird. And Tom had asked me if I'd go in the studio and play live. And I'd only just started going into folk clubs and things like this, and the thought of going on radio and performing live was terrifying. And I'll always remember I'd written the lyrics out to all of the songs that I was going to do in great big type so that I could see and everything okay. And I put them down in front of me. And as I was about to start singing, the guy who was actually running the desk says, make sure you keep your head up so that the microphone gets everything. And so I sang with my head stuck up like this all the time. Couldn't see the lyrics down on the floor in front of me. I was a wreck, absolutely shaking.
We've had quite a few suggestions for whiskies, thank you very much. And
They're a bunch of pissheads, honestly.
Sue has also suggested that based on tonight's performance next week, you might like to do Wall of Death.
Yeah, there's a good one.
Let me ride on the Wall of Death one more time. Anyway, yeah. We've not mentioned, obviously, thank you very much for everybody who has donated. We sent about another £400 to the 2 charities last week, so that's fantastic. So if anybody does want to donate, there are buttons, there's a link at the top of this post, or there are buttons on the front page of our website, winterwilson.com, where you can donate by PayPal or credit card. There's one button which is strings and things. That's basically if you want to donate to us. The other way to help us, obviously, is to buy CDs from the website. And then the other button donates to our charities fund, which we divide 50% to the Musicians Union Musicians Hardship Fund, because there are some people out there really having a bad time. And the other 50% goes to the Sleaford Community Larder, our local food bank, who are also rather busier than a food bank in a country this rich ought to be. But there you go.
Just thinking about the live streams, last night I caught a couple of other live streams. I caught a little bit the last couple of 3 songs of Candy Craig's, which was very good. And then I got on to Jamie Roberts and Cat Gilmore.
Yeah.
And if that's still up, have a look at that. There's a song, I'm pretty sure it's called Billy Green, that Jamie had written. And it's a belter, absolute belter.
They're amazing, those two. It's a weird thing, because I still think when we first came across Jamie, he was very young. He was playing in Kerfuffle. And then sort of meeting him with Kat, and now they've got little Rosie.
Yeah.
And it's fab. They're immensely talented pair.
Very nice folks.
And very nice people,
folks,
yes.
Yeah, where are we going? Oh, Ship It Rocked. Yeah. This, I thought we'd done this, but I checked back and we haven't done it. We've definitely not done it. I think we've done 1 or 2 live streams for folk clubs and things, and we must have done it on one of them. So,
just have to tell people, we were doing a couple of years back, maybe 3 years ago, we were playing the Lake District Folk Weekend, which couldn't be any better really. It's August Bank Holiday weekend in the Lake District, and most of it happens in a brewery. But it was Hawkshead Brewery, which is amazing as well, good beer, and doing a songwriting workshop with another guy who's, I'm really sorry but his name escapes me now, but we were talking about writing blues songs, because Dave writes blues songs for me, and he said, all you ever have to do with a blues song is just start with I woke up this morning. And then he said, that said, I've never started a song with woke up this morning. And then a couple of minutes later,
this was literally the next song, because I said I want to play you a new one now and then explain how it all came about, and realised it actually starts with that line, but it's not a blues song. Woke up this morning 5:30. 6-day journey lay ahead. Another land 2,000 miles. Tonight I pray for a stranger's bed. There's nothing left of this old town. It's just bodies, bombs and rubble. And they say that they can get me out, but each day the price it doubles. And the wolf he's howling at my door. We have to make some money. That well-worn path's been trod before, to the land of milk and honey. Oh, the ship it rocked and the ship it rolled. It turned our faces green. Oh, if we ever make dry land, I'll go no more to sea. Oh, desperate measures, desperate times. You can't live without a future. There's no goodness in this land of mine. It's time for us to leave her. We got nothing left save a little hope. There's jackals out there waiting. And as I climb aboard this boat, I can't stop my hands from shaking. Oh, the ship it rocked and the ship it rolled. It turned our faces green. Oh, if we ever make dry land, I'll go no more to sea. Oh, they say you can't trade human flesh. There's no man can own another. But when the devil calls, you'll sell your soul. You will turn upon your brother. And there's glory out there somewhere, fair winds and steady tides. Yes, there's glory out there somewhere, if we can just get through tonight. Oh, the ship it rocked and the ship it rolled. It turned our faces green. Oh, if we ever make dry land, I'll go no more to sea. Oh, if we ever make dry land, I'll go no more to sea. Oh.
Excuse me.
Yeah, a bit of coffee was
I am.
You want to get a test?
Oh God! Like 3/4 of the rest of the population that
Indeed,
can't
yeah.
get one.
Yeah, they did say that when they phoned me up today for my hospital appointment, and saying they're going to give me a ring for a pre-assessment check. That's it, and then I've got to go in for a COVID test 3 days before the operation. And I'm thinking, oh, all being well, you never know. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Oh, we're up to the last one already again.
Griff, that's gone really fast, you know. But
it's going to be an hour again.
That's
over
55
an hour again,
minutes, yeah. So once again, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. We will, when we're done, we'll go next door, nip on the computer, grab something to eat, and answer the comments and questions and things.
Whole abuse back, yeah.
Yes.
One other thing as well, I always say every week, thanks for all the shares. And I've realised that we've got right to the end now. I've said this, but last week there was a few folks shared it early on, shared the live stream early on, and it was the biggest amount of it. I think we've over 4,000 views on last week's video,
which is fantastic.
I realise this is a lot of people just clicking on it for about 5 seconds and thinking, "Oh my God," and then moving on somewhere else. But that's by far the biggest amount of views anything's had, and I swear, I'm sure it's down to all the people sharing it. It does make a difference.
So yeah, thank you very much for that. You know, just need to like get the message out there that there is still stuff happening. So yeah, tomorrow morning we'll be Tallulah's packed basically. We'll be heading off to Beardy Fest.
Living out of a van for the weekend. It'd be great. We've not done that for ages.
We haven't.
Really looking forward to it.
We've spent 2 nights in Tallulah since the night of March the 16th. March the 15th. Yeah. When we were parked up at Gravelines, which is just north of Calais.
Yeah, that was to get an early morning ferry back from France when everything was shutting down.
Yes. And we've been twice. We went down to near Stamford and spent one night in the van at some friends' houses, and then we stayed in our van when we played the concert at Sheila's. And that's the only times we've slept in her since March. And we normally spend more nights in Tallulah than we do in the house. It's really weird.
Yeah.
But the garden's looking better.
Isn't it just? Yeah, we'll leave you with this. The song's called Life Goes On, and it's right back to... This is the very first track on the very first album. Thinking of that. And whenever I'm doing an album, I don't want to waffle too much, it's getting on. But whenever I'm doing an album, I always think of it as a set list. So I set out the songs as though it's a performance. And for a good long while, we always used to start with this song. Life Goes On. I was walking down a track, I didn't need a push, but there's a wind blowing hard on my back, looking for an alibi, lame excuse, she stopped me wondering why did I go, as if you didn't know, I just needed to show, life goes on without you. When my heart got burned, chasing a teenage dream, I couldn't see past my nose. I thought it was an angel dressed up in a young girl's clothes. How could I be fooled? I didn't try the water, I just jumped into the pool. Oh, she looked so fine, I thought I'd lost my mind. Can't think of many things I've changed. All through the accusations, the arguments, the blame, this deep affection still remains. Memory stays with me through all of my life. It keeps coming around when I lie awake at night. It doesn't matter now that you're gone, 'cause we've got something that goes on and on and on and on and on. And if I ever walk down that road again, my fingers started to lock up there. I got cramp. Thanks a million for watching.
Thank you for
Thanks for
joining
being
us.
there.
Covers again next week.
Yeah, thanks for all the donations and all the requests. We do really appreciate it.
And any more suggestions of covers? And I know we've got quite a lot, and we will get through them all eventually. But well, not necessarily all, but most of them. But yeah, any more? Just let us know.
Keep them coming.
Keep them coming.
We ain't going anywhere yet.
Going nowhere soon. Good night, everybody. Stay safe. Bye bye.